back to first take. LeBron James is just one win away from beating one of his biggest rivals in Steph Curry, making his 12th conference finals, in part thanks to a great fourth quarter performance from Lonnie Walker IV. The Lakers have a chance to win the series in San Francisco on Wednesday. Now, the Lakers have been on an absolute tear since after the trade deadline, giving LeBron and AD the exquisite pieces for the current success they're enjoying. Now, since February 10th, the day after the deadline, the Lakers post the best record in the West and are behind only the 76ers for the best record in the NBA. Now, we got JJ and Wendy back with us. Stephen A., what would a fifth title mean for LeBron?
Well, first of all, his legacy is already cemented as one of the greatest players to have ever lived.
Rightfully so, yes.
We certainly don't want to throw any shade on that as far as I'm concerned, although I think that a fifth title by Steph Curry at this stage of his career, if he were to surpass LeBron James, would warrant a discussion about that Mount Rushmore. LeBron is going to be on my Mount Rushmore as number 2 all time. That's how I feel about him. Having said that, I will acknowledge that I have found it insulting for anybody to think that he belongs above Michael Jordan. If he were to win a fifth title this year, I would no longer feel insulted by that discussion. I would have to concede that, yeah, I still ain't putting him above Jordan, but I understand others who might think otherwise. Because for him to take this team from where it was to where it is now, albeit Rob Pelinka deserves a whole bunch of credit for what he's been able to pull off with the trades that brought 4 different players, not just 2 or whatever, 4, with Beasley and Hachimura and Vanderbilt and Russell. The fact of the matter is LeBron is the leader of the pack. And for him to turn around in his 20th season and to play the way that he's played, and to find his way to capture a 5th NBA championship in his career, this particular season at this stage of his career, I mean, listen, it would warrant a discussion as the greatest player to have ever played this game. Still wouldn't get it from me over Michael Jordan, but it would warrant a discussion. I'll have to admit that.
This is a great example, and there are many on the history of this show, but this is a perfect example of the contradictions of Stephen A. You just said, no, Stephen A., I'm not putting words in your mouth. I am literally, you just said, LeBron is number 2. He is number 2.
Yeah.
If he wins a 5th, there's a discussion to be had. Last week, on this very show, while I sat at this very table, you said if Steph Curry wins a 5th championship, you're taking LeBron off the Mount Rushmore.
No.
How do you go? No. How do you
that.
go from number 2 to number 5 if you're only putting one extra person on the Mount Rushmore? The math doesn't check out.
Can I quote? Since you asked me a question, what I said was, if not LeBron, what are we going to do with Russell and Kareem? Because they say they don't want to remove Russell because of the 11 titles. They say they don't want to remove Kareem because of his resume, and I'm not removing Jordan. That's what I said.
I think LeBron is, doesn't matter what happens the rest of the season, he's number 2.
Okay.
He's number 2.
Okay.
And if you're moving one guy in, if it's Steph, you can't take LeBron off.
Okay.
I want to clarify.
And
I'll answer the question here.
Russ.
To me, regardless of what happens, LeBron's number 2. LeBron is number 2. And whether you talk about careers or the player themselves, the killer instinct, the fear factor, all of that stuff, I think for the large majority of people that watched the NBA in the 1990s, Jordan is their all-time, and there's nothing that can really be done to take him off that top spot.
80s and 90s.
LeBron to me, if you're going to have Jordan 1, LeBron is 1A. And there's nothing that can be done in the future, whether it's winning or losing, that's gonna change that for anyone. So I don't think it affects his legacy at all. I agree with your original point, which LeBron James, his legacy is firmly cemented.
whenever this conversation comes up, I'd like to have a nuanced conversation, and so often it's blown out of the water. Two of the greatest seasons of LeBron's career resulted in finals losses. One was in 2014-15 when he first came back to Cleveland, and he dealt with the injuries, and he also dealt with leadership issues within that team, and he brought it all together, and he just sort of, they were 19-20 at one point, and he carried them all the way to the finals. And they lost, and it's regarded as a failed season, but I will tell you right now, it's one of the great accomplishments of his career. Second is 2017-18, his last year in Cleveland, second time around, played all 82 games, had one of the most brilliant playoff runs in history. Kind of had to browbeat the Cavs with some tactics to force them into trades. I won't get into them right now, in addition to playing. Those two seasons were tremendous LeBron seasons that, in my mind, burnishes his resume for his greatness level. Nobody will ever see it that way because nobody wants to look into it. What's going on right now fits that. If you look at what's happened this year with the Lakers and what he's gone through and what he's carried the team to, and when he's come back from this injury, regardless of whether he gets the fifth title or not, whether he loses this round or loses the next round, this is very, very, very impressive. But I understand that it's very hard to have a conversation for people who want to count to six and then end the conversation. And for people who do that, we'll just end it. If we have a better conversation about it later, we can.
Wendy, JJ Reddick, I want you to sit back and enjoy this breaking news moment. You're both actually right. I stand down. Jordan's 1, LeBron's 1A, and the things that Wendy said about the two seasons that he lost the NBA Finals and how this falls into that category is right too. Enjoy this moment, JJ Reddick. It'll probably never happen again. Y'all are right. I stand down. LeBron is an immovable object as top 2 in the history of basketball. Period.
I think we relish in this moment. We relish in this moment, and this is the perfect moment of let's take it in, fellas. Let's not disrupt it.
Arc in this
We
show.
take
This
the
show-
arc.
I always say
We
the show
take
is
this
fluid. The
arc,
show is fluid.
and then we're just
Stephen A.
gonna
went
ride
from
into
just
the
getting honest
sunset.
with me,
Still
into
now
a
he's
break.
agreeing with me.
He's agreeing with you.
There's
Let's
still
take
20
this
minutes left.
one. We're gonna take it into a break because we still have 20 minutes left of this show, but we're gonna go into a break on this beautiful moment coming up.